You too. What it do? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. We live, baby. We live. We live, baby. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Got a lot of news today, man, to cover. We got a lot of news to cover, man. A lot of news, bro. This free agency is crazy right now. It's lit right now. And we gonna get into it. We'll wait till everybody get in here. Couple people get in here. We'll start talking about it. About the 5 minute mark. Man. Woo! Been litty. All these moves, man. Teams making to try to get better. We should have known it was coming. We should have known it was coming. A whole lot of everything, man. Everybody making moves. That's why I expect it, though, man. It's the NBA, man. It's part of the game. We expect to see a lot of moves made during the off season. Everybody want to trying to better their team, to get better. Yeah, man. Oh man. Oh man. It really no blockbuster, um, moves made today. Pretty much, steady role play team signing these these role players that are so important to a team, especially especially teams that are trying to compete for a championship, contending teams. So, in my opinion, because the new CBA and all these, the new rules that's gonna be coming up for the NBA teams. I think teams, in my opinion, bro, teams just went into this free agency saying we gonna try to stack. We gonna try to stack up with a bunch of role players who can, reliable role players, not just any old role player, reliable role players, dudes who complement the team and who can bring something to a team. And yeah, man, I just think instead of you know teams trying to stack the deck with stars other than Phoenix, because Phoenix got KD. KD try to stack the deck to the highest order when it comes to stars. But I think overall, and even they made key moves. But we'll get into that. But like I was saying, man, teams just trying to get better and, and fill their team up with depth. Fill their team up with depth. First team, let me see. Where do I want to start? It's a lot to start for y'all. It's a lot to start from, man. It's a lot to start. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Let me see. I don't want to start with the. I want to lead. I want to lead the obvious teams for last. The big, I want to lead those teams for last. So I got to start from the teams that ain't really make no deals. They made deals, but they ain't make no deals. Like no blockbuster or close to. So I'm trying to now. I can really start anywhere. You know what? I'm gonna go back. The report. I'm gonna do this. You know what? Hmm. Agency tracker. Trying to see. I might start with the champs, y'all. I might start with the champs. Yeah, I gotta show the champs some love. Yeah. Gotta show the champs some love. Yeah. It was crazy. They didn't really make no moves. They just got not necessarily got rid of guys, but okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start with the champs, man. The Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets. They re-signed free agent Reggie Jackson, or agreed to a 2 year, what is it, $10.25 million deal with the player option in the second season to return to the Denver Nuggets. Sources tell the Athletic. So basically, the Denver Nuggets re-signed the Reggie Jackson, and I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on that. Um, I mean, Reggie Jackson didn't really get no playing time when he was during his during the Nuggets run, mainly because he came via trade from the Los Angeles Clippers, and Denver, pretty much already had their rotations in, and playing their main guys. He played a little bit during the playoffs, not that many minutes. Played a little bit, but considering them not being able to resign Bruce Brown and actually resigning Reggie, I think it's a good. You have to just live with that. Considering Reggie Jackson probably can bring some value to the team. Probably can bring some value to the team. We know he's a scoring punch off the bench. They can use him for that. Uh, he's not really gonna be doing the little things that Bruce Brown was doing because Bruce Brown is just like an all around. He's a guy you want on your team. A guy who can pretty much do everything as far as like on the defensive end and a little bit on the offensive end. So they are gonna they're gonna miss Bruce Brown. I will say that. I will say that. Now they do got the rookie um, that Christian Brown, who stepped up for them in the finals, gave them some good run. Was doing some of the things that Bruce Brown was doing, but you know, Denver Nuggets, they just got to take that low blow. Not resigning Bruce Brown, man. And hopefully they can go out and get it. Hopefully they can go out and get a guy that does somewhat what Bruce Brown does, or not even that, who just bring that hustle. And, you just try to just find that guy that does the little things, you know, in this little free agency. They'll find somebody on the vet man, like to use them for like a vet man minimum, or or somebody off a little contract. They'll find somebody, man. But as far as them resigning Reggie Jackson, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. It's another guard, that come behind Jamal Murray and Jokic. Yeah. Come off the bench and give a scoring punch. That's always good, especially in the playoffs. Having multiple guys who can get a bucket. Uh, yeah, man. The Denver Nuggets also they resigned DeAndre Jordan. Um, yeah, they resigned DeAndre Jordan, which don't really mean anything because DeAndre Jordan. I Yeah, man, I don't mean anything. 'Cause DeAndre Jordan he wasn't really playing like that, so that don't really mean anything. I guess he's a veteran guy in that locker room who kept them together. That would be my guess as why the Denver Nuggets re-signed him because he ain't really bringing nothing to the table, like as far as production on the court. So it would have to be the locker room, him being in the locker room, and DeAndre Jordan has been good in the locker room. Pretty much every place he been. You know, multiple players have come out and said that. Other than CP3, I don't think him and CP3 really got a. Well, it had their little beef. I wouldn't really say it was. CP3 was more. I think it was more so CP3 and Blake Griffin. I don't think CP3 and DeAndre Jordan had a problem with each other, so I could be wrong on that. But yeah, man. Denver Nuggets didn't really do nothing in the free agency, which they didn't really have to. I mean, now they probably put a little pressure on them to go get somebody, considering they lost Bruce Brown. But I mean, as long as they keep that core group with Jokic, Murray, and PJ, they'll be fine. I think it's not the end of the world for them. Them dudes, their box office, especially Jokic and Murray. And also they have Aaron Gordon too, who played a big part, important part of them winning the ship. So as long as they keep those guys, I think they'll be fine. They'll still be one of one of the toughest teams to beat, the team to beat, considering they're coming off a championship. Yeah, yeah, man. Different Nuggets, I think they'll be fine, man. But they'll go out there and make a move. They'll go out there and make another move. I seen they also got some draft picks if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, Denver Nuggets. Okay, they traded them picks to Indiana. Mm. Yeah, they traded them first round picks to Indiana. I see. Yeah, man, I think that's all on the Denver Nuggets. They ain't really make no splash, considering they're coming off a championship run, man. And the next team we're about to get into, so let me see here. Oh, I guess we'll start with the teams who made moves already. Let's start with the Boston Celtics, man. Go with the Boston Celtics. Go with the Boston Celtics, man. Boston Celtics did something interesting in this free agency, or yeah, off-season free agency. Really before free agency, but we'll just say off-season. And was they got rid of they got rid of Marcus Smart. rid of Marcus Smart, man. But yep, the Celtics they got rid of Marcus Smart. It ended up trading him to Memphis in the 3-team trade that will ultimately give them back Porzingis from the Wizards. And it's the only deal they made. It's the only deal they made. It's the only deal they made. And the deal that could ultimately, or I'll say a deal that keeps them in contention for a championship run. Now, they've been coming up short. We all know that. But they still have the talent to go out there and win. They just have to put it together. They just have to put it together and make it work, man. They've been coming up short. They got there, got to the finals too. Last year, last season, this season before last. Played against the Golden State Warriors, lost in 6 games. And of course, this past playoff, they lost to Miami in 7. And as of right now, man, Boston Celtics just keep coming up short. It's like they're right there, but they keep coming up short. And we can say, I'm gonna say this. Part of the reason why the Boston Celtics have been coming up short hasn't been really hasn't been really the the players more so. Even though Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been playing bad, so to speak. Um, Most of it hasn't been really on the players, and I'll say this: it's been more on the front office than the players. And here's why I say this, and it's kind of weird because it's not because of the front office that they've been, the move. Well, some of it has to do with moves, but here's what I'll say about the Boston Celtics: why why they haven't been able to reach that championship that championship, yeah. It's because of management, really, and not really more so coaching. I wouldn't really blame coaching on it. I'm talking about management and the higher ups, the owners, the GMs, that type of higher up, man. It's been them making not really bad decisions as far as putting talent on the team, but it's them the, the front office. It is like they don't know who they want as their coach long term. They don't know who they want as the GM long term, or GM, or hell, maybe even owner. But yeah, man, like you just look at it from the Boston Celtics standpoint, or from a fan. I'm not Boston Celtics standpoint, but from a fan standpoint, and you really just look at why the Boston Celtics have been coming up short. It really been because of management. They continue to. It's like every 2 to 3 years, it's a change in the management. You had Dan and Ainge. Dan and Ainge was there for a couple of years, man. Dan and Ainge did a good. He did sort of a good job until about the end, when it was about the end. Then he wouldn't, then he started messing up a little bit. You look at Brad Stevens, him going from the head coach to GM. You look at that in the midst of Dan and Ainge leaving the team, and it's like, well, y'all are making the right moves as far as putting talent on the team and drafting as well. The Boston Celtics haven't done a bad job drafting at all. At all. I mean, so you have Tatum, who's supposed to be a superstar, at least close to just a tier tad below superstar level. Jaylen Brown, who's an all-star level player. Uh, Even Marcus Smart, defensive player of the year. Um, Grant Williams, who was a solid role player. He's actually now a free agent. Now we'll get into that, but and also Robert Williams, who's coming, who's who became a valuable role player to that team. And you look at it, you say, well, the talent is there from Boston. And you're like, what's missing? Well, they're right there. And Brad Stevens, when he was Brad Stevens, he wasn't a bad coach. I mean, when I would now, can you say he was a championship level type coach? You can make an argument for that. Um, and then I think Brad Stevens, a lot of people was overrating Brad Stevens to a certain extent, because yeah, he made a run, with Tatum, those guys, getting them to the finals. Tatum rookie year. Jaylen Brown was also like young. I think he was like into his third year. Then okay, the next year, okay, they get Kyrie Irving out of trade for Isaiah Thomas, who Danny Ainge made that move, and it was like, why would he even do that? I think part of that came back to bite Boston. I really do. because you get rid of your best player, even though he was hurt. Even though he was hurt, you get rid of your best player for a great player in Kyrie Irving. There's no knocking it. And that time, Kyrie Irving was better than Isaiah Thomas, even with the IT doing the things that he was doing. But man, I was like, you look back on it now. See, then you was like, it's not bad for Boston, get rid of Icy. Uh, it was bad in terms of feelings, for the feeling for everybody's feelings, even Isaiah Thomas' feelings. Maybe even some Boston fans, they felt like they shouldn't have never made that trade. But it was like, okay, you get talented young player Kyrie Irving coming in, and their first year. You also no. Let me start back. Let me go back. You also resigned Gordon Hayward. He was in his prime or entering his prime. Then you start off the season, the first season together. Everybody first season together. Tatum rookie year, Jaylen Brown. I think he was like into his second or third season. Marcus Smart into his like fourth, fifth season. And you had that season in the first game. Gordon Hayward goes down with the gruesome injury, which ultimately could for that season right there. I think like mentally that it may have affected the team to a certain extent, not to a high, not to a major extent because they end up going to the conference finals. But anyways, as far as roles going on the team, Jason Tatum um, now have to step into this big role as well as Jaylen Brown. Being second fiddle behind Kyrie Irving. And you just looking for that. Then you have, ultimately roles changing. Then, they go on a little winning streak after that. After they get over that little hump. And then Kyrie Irving goes down. So that's, again, another bump on the road that they got to go through. It didn't go to the playoffs, do the best they can. Guys stepped up. Jaylen Brown stepped up. Tatum stepped up. Rozier stepped up. And all those guys stepped up and go to the conference finals and go against no other than LeBron James, which is no shame in going against LeBron James and losing, especially losing in 7 games. That means you actually competed as a young team against more older, experienced, more skilled LeBron. So you lose to LeBron in 7 games. Then boom, it's like, okay, young guys, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I'm like, okay, we got something here. We can do something with this. We went to the conference finals. Was one game away from the finals. So it's like, yeah, we gonna be like that. Yeah, next season, Kyrie and Gordon come back. And eventually, I don't know, the roles change. And what I mean by roles change, Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward come back. And Gordon Hayward come back off this gruesome injury. And he's already starting, which, again, a bad coaching move by no other than Brad Stevens, who was the coach at the time. Then, their steady pace, they were a talented enough team to, um, coast the regular season. And, but at the time, you got Kyrie Irving coming out this knee injury, who wasn't even 100% at all. And you got Gordon Hayward, who come back to the starting lineup, who also wasn't 100%. And they're playing against, or not playing against, but playing over these young guys that got you to the conference finals. It was one game away from the finals. And what I mean by that, Kyrie playing over, getting Rozier minutes, and Gordon Hayward was getting Jaylen Brown minutes. I remember they having Jaylen Brown come off the bench. I'm like, what? I was like, okay, but yeah, man, it was like at that time, like that was just a bad move from Boston, man. Having those two dudes coming off the injury to just now Kyrie Irving, he's difference maker. Like you the kid, this Kyrie, Kyrie, he's one of the best players. He's gonna be at least top two on this team, anyways. But for Gordon Hayward to just come back and come over and take Jaylen Brown's spot, while Jaylen Brown was a key contributor for them getting to that conference finals and being one game away from the finals was like crazy to me. And that's no knock on Gordon Hayward then, because Gordon Hayward was cold. But we clearly saw the decline, and he wasn't the same. But you had that, and they go to the playoffs, man, and get past the first round, and they get to the second round, lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, and I think 5 or 6 games, something like that. And you say, "What went wrong?" Well, egos, egos, egos is what went wrong, and also guys not knowing their roles, and guys not knowing their roles. Jaylen Brown, who got sort of an ego, from him. Not he was the best player anyways, but he had that starting role and was balling. So like you had that friction right there. It was no burner though. He was gonna start Kyrie Irving anyway. So I don't know what, but again, you guys still had an ego to feel like they was like that. and that's how they ultimately lost in that series against the Milwaukee Bucks, who would go to the conference finals. Lose to the Toronto Raptors, but it was like, what did the Boston Celtics miss? Then, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Give me one sec. Hold on, y'all. All right, I'm back. All right, I don't mean to spend. I spent all that time on Boston when they only made one move. I should have been moved on by now, but And yeah, I'm gonna move on right now. But yeah, I just know, man, the Boston Celtics, they been coming up short. And hopefully they'll get there eventually. On the little move they made. Getting KP wasn't a bad idea at all. Because they needed a big, they needed size, they needed length. But guess it was the reason why they got off Marcus Smart, who was a key contributor to them, defensive player of the year. And we'll see what they do in the future, man. They don't, they don't do nothing to make no noise this year, and then they're gonna have to just blow it up. They're gonna have to. But next team we're gonna get into is let me see. Ha ha. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about the Houston Rockets, who just signed Fred VanVleet. Yes, I said Fred VanVleet, y'all, from the Toronto Raptors. Got that bag. 4 year, 130 million contract, and then $30 million contract from the Houston Rockets. And yeah, Houston Rockets. Signing Fred VanVleet, veteran guard, championship guard. To be over there with the young guys, Jalen Green, Amy Thompson, the twin that they just drafted. Jabari Parker, all those guys. Not Jabari Parker, but Jabari Smith. I said Jabari Parker. Shout out to Jabari Parker, who was a hooper for real at Duke. He really hoop. Played with the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Yeah, unfortunately, injuries played a part. So him not being that guy, man. Even though I think he could still ball. But yeah, they got Jabari Smith over there, man. All the young guys over there. Um, Sagoon as well. But most importantly, Fred VanVleet, I feel like can help KPJ and Jalen Green run out, be their veteran type, guy. Be that veteran type guy and mold and lead them guys in the right direction. Show them guys how to play smart basketball, play winning basketball. You know, yeah, man. ultimately, uh, what I feel like Fred VanVleet can bring to that Houston Rockets team. And of course, they got Ime Udoka over there, who can one of the best coaches in the league. I just feel like Houston Rockets, they're making trends up to better that organization, man. Better the team. It just is what it is. Next team I would get into, yeah, the Golden State Warriors. 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 Warriors, man. Them Warriors. How about them Warriors? How about them? Apparently, the Warriors had a few tricks up their sleeve this offseason. They had a few tricks up their sleeve this offseason. One was getting rid of Jordan Poole. Getting rid of Jordan Poole, man. Yeah, we know why they got Jordan Poole, man. We know why, man. We know why. The beef with him and Draymond, man. Draymond punching the dog crap out the man. Punching Mario coins out the man. Knocking him out ultimately during the last, during training camp last season, before the start of last season, man. And y'all know the Warriors' favorite. And you know who they favorite, bro. You know who they lean towards. The side they took, the side they chose. They picked the side. Uh, they ultimately got rid of Poole, man, in the trade with the Wizards. In the trade with the Wizards, they sent Poole to the Wizards for CP3, man. Actually, it was some Poole and some picks for CP3. I think a second round pick, if I'm not mistaken. But the Warriors got CP3, yay! They got CP3, yay! They got CP3. Now a lot of people say that's a bad move by the Warriors. I don't think it's a bad move as people making it seem. And CP3, you gotta think. CP3 don't have to play 30-some minutes a game. You don't have to carry the offensive load at all. In Phoenix, he kind of sort of had to do that, especially when they got rid of the depth for KD. He had to pick up some slack, which ultimately got him hurt. Unfortunately, in the Denver series, but for this Warriors team, he ain't got to do nothing but come off the bench, or which now they said he gonna be starting. But all he can do is just chill, get his assists, and be a role player. Because ultimately, sadly, that's what CP3 is now in his career. Is just gonna be a role player, man. He's declining. He declined. He declined, man. He declined. And he's gonna be a role player for his Golden State Warriors. Because we all know who's gonna take over the scoring load. That being Steph and Clay. Now Clay has been inconsistent, as well as Wiggins. I forgot about Wiggins on that team. But those are the three guys who's really gonna be doing the scoring. We know Draymond ain't doing no scoring like that. But yeah, the big guys gonna be doing the scoring, so CP3 just gonna be really sitting back, relaxing, setting them guys up, coming up them screens. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's gonna be a bad fit. Now, question is, him and Draymond gonna get along? Because every time somebody come over there, Draymond gets into it with them some kind of way. Got into it with KD. Got into it with Poole. So that's the only question. It's how him and Draymond is gonna mesh. Because Steph and Clay, them guys, they're easy to get along with. Honestly. They're easy to get along with, man. Steph and Clay, they're easy going. Especially Steph. Steph is one of the nicest guys, coolest guys. You probably could be around in the league. Laid back, chill. You know, all he is about his business. Just coming in there and destroying niggas on the court. That's all Steph about, man. Steph, I'm sure, him and Sleepy 3 had a little, thing going on in the past, which wasn't really nothing. They ain't getting to no big fight or none of that like that. So and then it's plus Steph even alluded to CP3 being like a mentor to him coming into the league. So they have that, they have that little chemistry right there. A little chemistry. In the All-Star game too. And they playing on the same team. I know it's not nothing, but you know, CP3 to me is not gonna be as bad as people think it is. Not do I think they should have got rid of Jordan Poole? Not really, but they had to make a decision on whether getting rid of Draymond or Poole. We know who ended up being the scapegoat throughout this whole season was Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole. But and on top of Draymond getting his $100 million 4-year deal today, got that bag. Yeah, Draymond got that bag for real. He got that bag. He got paid. Am I surprised one bit? No. I am kind of surprised they gave him that much money, but that's what he wanted, and he got it. He got exactly what he wanted. His bag. Now let's see how committed he is to the film. Let's see how committed he is to Golden State Warriors. But yeah, but Golden State Warriors, they are gonna be in. They are gonna be in contention, championship contention. So you can't count. You never can count them out. They're gonna be right there in the mix in the West, in the tough West, and they're gonna compete. But anyways, um, next team I want to get into is the almighty, almighty Phoenix Suns, man. The Phoenix Suns, who by the way, been making a few moves in this off season. That one being firing Monty Williams, getting rid of CP3, hiring Frank Vogel, and trading, well, got rid of CP3, trading CP3 for Bradley Beal, who's an all-star level player in this prime, one of the best scorers in the league. Yes, y'all. They went and got Bradley Beal. They went and got Bradley. They went and got old Bradley Beal. It's crazy. That was like their first move they made in the offseason was going to get Bradley Beal. Whoa. They went and got the real deal, Bradley Beal. Now we all know they're on the offensive end. They're gonna be a juggernaut. They're gonna be a juggernaut. They still got big Aiden. I don't know what they're gonna do with Aiden. Actually, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see something. Let me see something real quick. Because as I'm talking, it may be deals that's going on, still going on. I know the Phoenix Suns. They got role players. They picked up Yuta Watanabe, who played with Brooklyn. Played in Brooklyn with KD. They also went and got Bait Bait Diops, Keith Bait Diops from the Spurs, who played with the Spurs, who's a free agent. And whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, okay, okay. Okay. Let's see the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns. Okay, they resigned Damian Lee. They got Joshua Kobe back. Yep. Keith Bates from the Spurs. Watanabe, Drew Eubanks. Yeah, that moves. That's still questionable moves. Still questionable moves from the Suns. They still got to go get more pieces. Those role players are okay, but they ain't gonna get you over the hump. Um, now they do have four of the best scorers in the league, some of the best scorers in the league, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything. They still have to play the both ends of the ball. And we all know. Y'all know that, man. Y'all know that. You got to play both ends of the ball. So they're gonna be a tough out. They're gonna be a tough out. That's for sure. But do I think? I think they can make it to the Western Conference Final. The finals, yeah, I'm still debating because there's a lot of teams in the West making, on top of teams making their teams making huge moves in the West. One of those teams I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but that's why I'm looking at a team like Phoenix and say like, yeah, y'all got the four best players on the court, but but that doesn't mean y'all gonna win the championship because we know how hard it is to win the championship. Extremely hard, especially in this today's. But Phoenix Suns, they gotta make some more moves, in my opinion. Gotta make some more moves, in my opinion. I don't know how they gonna get the job that done. Uh, I keep hearing they saying they're gonna trade Aiden, then I'm hearing they saying they not gonna trade him, then I'm saying he is gonna trade. You might can get some depth for Aiden now. It would be probably be best to trade him. I mean, obviously you have to go get a big, but I think Aiden is the value of Aiden is not really that high. Teams that are really only team that's really looking. It's probably two teams that probably won't aim the most, and that's Dallas. That's Dallas and the Pacers. Those two teams who I know for a fact would love to have DeAndre on their team. But you knew they gotta get some more depth, man. I don't know how they gonna do it though. They know how to do it. They probably can pull it off on some vet minimums type. They probably can pull it off, but we'll see what happens, man. Phoenix Suns. That's all I had on them really. Not too much. We know they got the big three or big four if you want to include Wayne. That's all I had on them dudes though. Who else I was gonna talk about, y'all? Who else? Oh, Dallas Mavs, man. Let's get right into it, man. Dallas Mavs, man. Dallas Mavs, they re-signed Kyrie. They re-signed Kyrie, man. They re-signed Kyrie, man. And they just picked up Seth Curry, y'all. They just picked up Seth Curry. Not to mention them having a good draft, getting players that they wanted. So Dallas, man, they making moves, man. And they're steady with it too. They're steady with it too. They're steady with it. They're making moves though, man. They're trying to better the roster. They're trying to better the roster, man. Resigning Kyrie was big though. It was probably the win because we didn't know what Kyrie ever wanted to do. Nobody know what Kyrie ever wanted to do. I knew he wasn't doing what people thought he was going to do, or at least Lakers fans thought he was going to do. I knew he wasn't going there because it's like, how can you turn down the money that he just got, which was 126 million, to go to the Lakers, play with the old LeBron in there, injury prone AD. Oh my God! But yeah, the Lakers, I mean the Mavs, they re-signed Kai, man. They re-signed your boy Kai. Kai, they re-signed, man. A lot of teams looking at Kai. Uh, a lot of teams was looking at Kai before he made this decision. But he's decided to run it back with Luka, which is a good idea considering y'all only played like 10 games last season, and he came via trade, so it makes sense why Kyrie wanted to resign. And he said he want to be with the team long term, so yeah, man, I can see why Kyrie wanted to return. Next team about to get into, but it's the one and only Los Angeles Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers, man. Lakers out here making moves, y'all. They out here making moves, man. You gotta give them their credit though. You gotta give them their credit, y'all. The Lakers making moves though. They re-signed Reeves. They re-signed Rui Hachimura. They re-signed no, they didn't re-sign it. Yeah, they re-signed them two dudes. They got Gabe Vincent, um, who coming off a finals run with Miami, who's a free agent. Got picked up Torian Prince from Minnesota, who's a good wing, defensive wing, 3-and-D wing that they can use. And they picked up Eric Gordon, man. Those are good, solid moves for the Lakers. For real, y'all. I'm being honest. I like those. Those are under the what I call under the radar moves. Those are under the radar moves. And they also got Cam Reddish. They also got Cam Reddish. Those are under the radar moves. The Lakers should be fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see if they bring back D'Lo. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. I know they probably won't bring back Schroeder. They probably most likely won't bring back him. But the replacements for those guys, him and D'Lo, I like it, man. I really do. I really do. And man, Lakers, Lakers so far, they're kind of winning the free agency as far as we talking about moves. But well, hopefully it'll be more moves. Well, I know it will be more moves made. The official signed contract will be July 6th. Which would be like what? A couple more days. It'll be in a couple more days. Everything will be in a couple more days. Officially signed, but hey, we'll see what happens before. Yeah, I must update y'all too. I'm gonna come back with the video. All that. We should see. But those are all the you feel me major signings. A lot of teams making their moves. And trying to compete for that shit. Man, oh man, oh man, it's been hey for the most part. Like I said, with no blockbusters, I'm interested to see what James Harden is gonna go because he picked up his He picked up his money from Philly playoffs or the playoffs, but don't look like he wanna be in Philly anymore for some reason. Y'all know with James Harden, man. James Harden, you never know what that dude. That dude don't know where he want to be at this point. He don't know where he want to be at. Guess he don't want to be in Houston no more because of the comments that Jalen Green made on the podcast on Paul George podcast. Yes, he said, "Nah, I ain't going there. Back to Houston." Plus, they ain't in no winning situation anyway. Like I heard, like they're not even contending. So I guess he might be just going to Miami, man. I think Miami is going to end up landing him. To be honest, I think Miami is going to be the one that end up getting James Harden. I really do. I really do. And I don't know if he even fit the Miami culture, but Miami ain't going to have no choice because they just let Gabe Vincent, they let him walk, and they let Stress go away. So, man, we'll see what happens, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe, man. Let's tap on out of here, man. And make sure y'all share this live, man. For real, y'all, man. We going up, man. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to everybody who tap in. Shout out to everybody who gonna watch this live later. Just know, man, we going up to the top. We going straight up. I'm gonna say that every time, cause we are. We gonna be grinding. We gonna be grinding, man. But yeah, man, make sure I hit that like button and subscribe. And I'm gonna tap on out of here, man.